Hey guys, this week's topic is all about cold calling. If you haven't already done it, go to jamandjosh.com and download our ebook. Hey guys, this week we have an awesome topic for you, one that most people actually really hate to do, but we don't mind it because it makes money, and that is cold calling. Now, to be truthful, I do a lot of warm calling. I warm my leads up. So I'm a little nervous about cold calling, but I'm lucky because I got the expert who knows what's up. So Jamin, tell me a little bit about cold calling.
Cold calling, really, the biggest thing that people have to realize with cold calling is that it's hyped up as this, oh my gosh, it's cold calling. It's like, it's the elephant in the room. It's something that, oh, I don't want to do it. It's so scary. And the first thing you need to realize with cold calling, is that you just need to blow it out of the water. Blow all that scariness. Just go do it.
You're not going to die.
You're not going to die.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the biggest lesson that I actually didn't even write down on my notes, is funny, is that if you go and talk to somebody and they completely shut you down, they make you feel like, piece of crap or whatever else, is that is nothing personal towards you. They don't know you as a person. Mm-hmm. They don't know who you are. They might be having a bad day. Maybe they pride themselves off being just completely shutting down people cold calling. But the thing is that, I'm going to say it shows balls to go in and just talk to somebody you've never met before, right?
Absolutely.
The whole thing is that in today's market with technology and sales in general, people are like, don't cold call. Just find all these leads, and which is good, but they're saying don't cold call anymore. And the thing is that that's exactly why you should be doing it, because people aren't cold calling anymore. I think Josh wanted to throw in one quick fact here that actually is going to kind of kick off this whole thing.
Well, I love this fact. It's actually from a website. We don't know how credible it is. It's called businessballs.com. But they had some great advice on there. And one of the little excerpts we found is, in essence, cold calling is the art of approaching someone professionally, openly, and meaningfully with a sensible proposition. So I think that's a great way of framing what cold calling is. And I think that one of the things that you said that really attaches is if you're doing cold calling correctly, you should almost feel like you're doing like performing art in a way, Exactly. And then another thing too is when they do get mad at you, one thing I've learned from you is you got to look at it and be like, man, I feel bad for that person. Like, they must be having a really crappy day because they were super angry. And it's like, it's not a big deal. It's not your fault. You didn't do that. You were just simply asking a question and providing a valuable solution. That's it.
And if you're doing cold calling successfully and well and have a good, and I don't like the word routine, but you kind of do build a routine, is that when you're going in, the whole thing is today is like, close the sales now, close it now. You have to meet the CEO today. You have to have it all now. And it's like, the whole point of a cold call is literally to gain intel. It's to make introduction. It's for them to get an idea of who you are and what you do. That's my biggest, I would say probably 99% of all sales coaches out there probably would say the opposite of what I'm saying here. But really, when I'm going in, I'm just, like I said, I'm just saying, hey, by the way, I'm in the neighborhood, I'm just want to introduce myself, get an idea of what you guys do. Oh, your name's Allison, it's nice to meet you, I'm Jamin. And if that's all it is and they're busy, then you walk out the door and say, hey, here's my business card. If you guys ever, whatever your business is, let's just say you're selling chairs. You're like, hey, you guys ever wanted a chair sample? Let me know. It's very indirect. It is it's not too aggressive, and it's not threatening. You're just saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. And I just want to say hello. And if, like you said earlier, if the person's a bitter person or they just try to shut you down and you do it in a way that's very non-threatening, then even more so the person is just, maybe they're on their high horse and they love shutting people down, but you're just trying to have good conversation.
Well, and I think the cool thing is let me ask you this question. Let's just pretend, role play for a second. I'm a young guy, fresh out of college, just got my first sales job. I think a lot of guys mentally are thinking every phone call has to be a close. They've seen these crazy movies, Glengarry, Glen Ross, whatever it is, like Coffees for Closers, and they're like, oh, so when I pick the phone up, that equals sale. Correct. And I think it's a little different from what you talk about, which 100%. I like, is that it's a build. It's a gradual, consistent process. So,
like I said before, the biggest thing is that when you talk to somebody, a prospect, you're building a network. If you're going to go out, and let's say you go to college for the first day, and you're going to go out and you're meeting a whole bunch of people at the first night's event, at the dinner or whatever. You're not going around to everybody saying, hey, Joe, hey, Bob, hey, Allison, you want to be my friend right now? Do you want to be my friend right now? You know what I mean? Like, let's be friends
Totally.
officially now. It's like, you don't do that when you
No.
build a network.
Not
You
at
know,
all.
you're working your way up. You're like,
They'll be like, no, I don't want to be your friend
no,
right now.
like, you're
Please.
freaking me out right now.
Yeah,
I don't want to
exactly.
talk to you.
Exactly.
And so it's as simple as you're making a connection. And another thing is, if you close that quick, which I'm not saying if people are really good at closing, that's not a bad thing, but my whole approach is different. If you close somebody that quick, that usually means that person's going to be closed on average all the time quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a customer that's going to be closed 5 days a week. When I say getting closed and making a sale 5 days a week,
Right.
I want them to be my friend, look at me as a value asset and say the next guy that walks through the door, yeah, maybe they'll be nice to him, but they say I have a proven person that I work with, that I have a relationship that has been built off not just a couple visits.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually longevity, it's value. They see, like the thing right here, there's one quick fact I'm going to throw in there from bizcoachinfo.com is that there's an old sales adage, which has been around forever, is that find a need and fill it.
Mm-hmm.
You're finding a need for that person and filling it because there's always a need to be filled. And if it's something that's already being filled by somebody else, you can do it better. And that's what you're showing them. So the biggest thing in cold calling, like I said, is don't walk in the door and just say, I need to get all this, I need to get this info, I need to close them. It's just, you always got to adapt to your environment. And that's the biggest thing most people do, is that's why people have the elevator pitch. You know, this is what I do, this is where I'm coming from. It turns out to becoming dry. You should know well enough what you do and what value you can add to where you can adapt that to the person you're talking to. Maybe you walk in the door and the person has 5 calls coming in at a time and they're frantic, and then at that point you just say, hey, she'd be like, oh, hey, can I help you? You just say, hey, by the way, you know, I was in the neighborhood. Like I said, so to leave my card. This is what I do. What's your name? Oh, it's Allie. Oh, nice to meet you, Allie. You know, hey, I'll stop by next week. What are some days you guys usually aren't so busy? You're like, oh, usually Fridays is quieter. Okay, you come back then and you leave. You don't try to gain anything else. You don't try to ask who their boss is or whatever else. You're just trying to gain minimum intel, and that's
different. You're being different. I mean, they're not used to that, right?
You're non-threatening.
Exactly.
You're non-threatening.
I love it.
And you know, I would get more into a lot of the details on this, but I really don't want to take up too much time today. I do want to throw one more fact in here, which I think was from Business Coach Info again, just kind of supports, again, why cold calling is so important. Mm-hmm. 2 things is that here's Business Coach Info said these are 2 main reasons why cold calling still is so important and will always be important, and the minimums you gain from it. 1 is that it works for short-term sales results. And when I say by that might sound contradicting to what I said earlier, but short-term sales results, maybe you walk in that day and says, oh my gosh, you know, we haven't found a good chair guy in a long time and we need 50 chairs. You're not going to find that opportunity unless you walked in the door that day. That's not always going to happen, and that's not a close. You're not closing them. You're just filling a quick, immediate need.
Well, let's take a quick second, because we did a video a couple weeks ago which talks about following up and how the sale usually happens on the 7th follow-up. So if you think about it, this is 1 of 7 to the average close for a product. So, I mean, just get in there, make yourself known, be non-threatening, become their friend, become more of a consultative role, and then over time they're going to remember you whenever whatever you're selling comes up in their mind. So if it's office furniture, well, maybe they need a chair. Boom, they're automatically thinking of that nice guy who wasn't pushy, who wasn't trying to shove a card down their throat or sell something, but he was respectful of their time and has ultimately gained that spot in their mind where they're like, I'm going to call him up, I'm going to order that chair, or at least get some info, which again, then you could follow up and find the fortune, because the fortune's in the follow-up, you know what I mean?
The fortune's in the follow-up, and which is actually funny because it's the end of all our videos.
That's right.
And actually, it's not. It's actually keep calm, keep selling, excuse me. But that's another good motto that we actually always like to reinforce.
That's right.
But overall, a big thing to remember too, that not only this video, but all of our videos are all made to kind of go with each other. Think about a huge deli sandwich, and you have meat, you have cheese, you have lettuce. They all complement each other. In that only this video will build off other videos and going forward. And like I said, that cold calling in person, the biggest thing that I want to walk away with today, and there's a lot more I wanted to talk about, but like I said, I want to keep this short, and we can always have more videos on cold calling. But the biggest thing is it's non-threatening. You don't need to close that day. Make it simple, and just go out and do it. Just start doing it. And if you're less direct about it, about making that close that day, then people are going to view you as more of a comfortable person to talk to. And you're making friends. You're building a network with building blocks.
See you next week.
Thanks, guys.